Okay, well, welcome back, Raider Nation. Welcome to the Raider roster report. This is Raider Sparks coming at you today. We're going to talk about the upcoming NFL draft and specifically the running back position for the Las Vegas Raiders. And thanks everyone for subscribing. Subscriptions are going up, which really helps me out. It's very very cool to see. So please keep sharing the video if you can. Get the word out. Like, subscribe, that type of thing. Make comments is very helpful. I love seeing the comments that have been coming in lately. A lot of passionate Raider fans. A lot of people have their own picks, and actually, it's pretty cool because I get to see some prospects or learn a little bit more about prospects that I wasn't really thinking as highly about. So it gives me a chance to really watch it. Just have some fun, kind of watching these guys, kind of learn the games of some other players that I didn't maybe have my eye on. So it's pretty cool to see that, and then just kind of get a feel for what the Raider Nation is thinking. We're getting really close to the combine, just a few days away. And as you guys know, those have been following me. We've gotten a long way through the position group. So today we'll do the running backs, and after that we just have the tight ends and quarterbacks to profile before the combine. And we've given quite a few players to watch, so it should be fun. Hopefully, after the combine, we can either add some players to the list of players to continue tracking, or maybe subtract some and narrow the focus down a little bit as we get a little closer to the draft. But today, let's get into the running backs. I only have about 6 running backs to go over today. I really like this running back class, but I really was looking for running backs that are going to be more late round type backs, who's 6th, 7th UDAF type backs, only because we have Josh, who's going to be our featured back. We have Kendra Drake, who's our sort of all-purpose or big play back, receiving back, that type of thing. And then we don't know what's happening with Richard. And we also have Trey Regis that could be possibly Josh's backup or replacement in the future. I thought Trey Regis did a great job, in the preseason at least. I always had some high hopes for him this year, but just never really got on the field for us. But we'll see what the new regime has to offer. I know there's already an article out today about some other guys coming in like White and Bolden that have played in the New England system. And so, coaches bring their own guys in that they're comfortable with too. So it might turn out that running back's not even a need for us, but we'll see. If we did address in the draft again, I wouldn't want to use a lot of draft capital on it just because of where we're at. But there's some really good running backs, and so I personally like running backs, especially the feature backs that are sort of in that 200 to 225 range. I like the bigger backs, kind of like Josh Jacobs. I think it's kind of where the league is going as well. But then also step back a little bit, look at some of the receiving backs, some of those all-purpose type backs, like a Richard, that type of thing. And there's a couple good backs in here for that as well. But like I said, I really like this class. I mean, Tyler Bandy is a really special, I think, back. He's going to do well in the league out of Missouri. Uh, specialist and third down receiving. If he could do it all, Pierre Straw would be another one. If he's projected in the 4th round. If he fell to like the 6th round, and somehow that happened, it would be a great pickup. Jerome Ford would be another great guy to get to possibly replace Josh Jacobs again. Probably most likely a 4th rounder if he did fall to like the 6th round, somebody to keep an eye on. But there's some really good backs: Damian Pierce, Brian Robinson, Kieran Williams, Tyler Algier, Rashad White out of Arizona State. I mean, there's just so many backs. Um, Obviously Walker, Spiller, and Hall at the beginning. So, but yeah, we won't take too much more time and talking to those guys. The guys I really liked, sort of low in the draft, 6th, 7th, and UDFA type guys. The first one would be Cameron Harris out of Miami. The only reason why he's as low as he is because he injured himself this year, so he's coming off a knee surgery. But if he comes back healthy and he's back in the fold. He's 5'10", 210 pounds, so a little bit lighter than I like the feature back. However, this guy is rock solid. Look at him. He is an absolute rock, and he's perfect for the power gap scheme that we're going to run. He had speed. We'll see how his speed comes back after the injury, but he's a big play dude. He's a 3-down back. Over 600 career touches in his career. I think he had around 600 touches when he add up everything. No fumbles, but so he's very, very secure ball ball carrier, some guy you could really trust. In his career, he's not overused either. So in his career, he only had 311 attempts for 1,628 yards, 5.5 average, 20 TDs, and the receiving game 45 receptions, 8.5 average, and 3 touchdowns. So he's not used a lot, which is what you want. So it's just kind of what we're looking for in guys at this position as well. Not a lot of wear and tear on the tires. And again, the only reason I could see the reason why he's low as he is because of that knee injury. So we could be getting a steal down here. Get him if he's not fully ready yet. Let him develop even more. But he's a dynamite back when he's healthy. He's got big play all over him. He's got yak yards. He bounces off dudes. I mean, look at the guy. He is a physical specimen. So even though he's only 210, he can. I believe he can handle the NFL no problem. So another guy I really like is Kevin Harris out of South Carolina. Really undervalued as well. It's because he had minor back surgery before the start of last season. And so I'm not sure what minor back surgery is, and so maybe the NFL is a little lower on him than that. But really, what his deal is, he's got the prototypical body, 5'10", 225, real powerful runner. Would be great in the power gap scheme. He's only 3 years at South Carolina, 3 years of production. So his career only 385 attempts, 1,975 yards, 5.5 average, and 25 TDs. And he's fine in the passing game. 36 receptions, 280 yards, 7.8 per touch, and 3 touchdowns. So in 2020, he actually led the SEC in rushing yards, and he also had 15 touchdowns in 2020. And then he had the minor back surgery, and then so South Carolina, did a running back by committee. Obviously, they had Zaquandre White as well, who's another draftable player, a good running back in his own right as well, but probably going to be drafted a little higher. So they kind of went to running back by committee, and Zaquandre Wright got most of the touches out of the receiving game as well. So they really just used Kevin Harris in 2021, limited amount, just kind of running between the tackles and not as much, but still has some big plays. Looks like he came back fully healthy from that minor surgery, and this would be a great replacement for Josh Jacobs if we wanted to kind of go that route and develop this guy. He's got a ton of potential. I really see a lot in him. As long as the medical for either Cameron Harris or Kevin Harris, if the medicals check out for either one of these guys, then by all means we should be definitely going in one of these guys' directions. Another guy I really liked, he was at the Senior Bowl, is Leddie Brown out of West Virginia. He's a senior, 5'11", 215, 4-year guy there, but really good, solid career. Had a lot of touches, 620 attempts, so it's a little bit more, little wear and tear. 2,888 yards, 6.7 average. I'm sorry, 4.7 average. 27 touchdowns, so really good there. 86 receptions, 604 yards, and 5 TDs. So he's good there. Really dynamic, real powerful, real violent runner, and he's not been hurt. He has no injury history at all. Even though his play style is violent, he is a tough runner. I didn't see, I was trying to watch the Senior Bowl. It was really hard this year, but I didn't see a lot of him at the Senior Bowl. So maybe I just need to go back and watch some more clips. But what I did see at West Virginia was just a dynamic. He has speed to power. I mean, just a real violent guy, and he's really low on the mock drafts right now. I'm just curious to see what's going to happen with the combine to see how he flashes there. And look for him to really move up the mock draft boards because if he shows that speed agility, then I think guys are going to really want to move up for him just because he is such a violent type runner and can give you that as well. He'd be really good in this scheme that we're about to run. Another guy I'm just intrigued by in general is Quay Holmes out of East Tennessee State. 6'1", 216, really solid. At 2021, he had 266 attempts for 1,553 yards, 17 touchdowns, 5.9 averaging along with 64. He's a big-time running back. He also had 32 receptions for 331 yards, 10.3 average, 3 touchdowns along with 77. So he's a big play dude. And just obviously a small school, so the competition may not be there. So I'm really hoping to see him at his pro day. I don't know if he's going to the combine, but I'm sure he'll be able to have a pro day. The only drawback I see with him in his career, East Tennessee State did him no favors. They rushed him 798 times, 4,204 yards, 43 touchdowns. So I mean, talk about production. 93 receptions for 799 yards and 6 TDs. So they got the most out of Quay Holmes, and so I'm just concerned with what he's got left in the tank. But a good combine, that's going to get him on a roster and see what he can do. And I mean, if we haven't addressed the running back position or do really well in free agency where we have a sort of an opening, we have 2 7-round picks. It could be one of them to just give him a shot because I mean the production's definitely there. And I just want to see what happens. And he's got return ability as well. He actually returned some kickoffs. I think he actually took one to the house as well. So he's got some stuff there with special teams as well. So another guy I really like, and he was at the Shrine Bowl, is Jashaun Corbin. In fact, he's one of my favorites in the draft right now to replace Richard. He is very Richard-like. The more I watch him, he's a junior out of Florida State. Came from Texas A&M, transferred to Florida State. So he actually has 4 years of college. He was a SEC freshman all team and the SEC at Texas A&M. Then 2019 blew his hammy, so he had to come back from his hammy. 2020 he was slow to come back. He went to Florida State this past season and did really really well. He had 320 in his career, 320 attempts, 1771 yards, 5.5 average, 14 TDs. And he's productive in the receiving game, 20 receptions, 360 yards, 6 average, and 2 touchdowns. So not a lot of wear and tear on his tires because of the injury, but he showed up at the Shrine game, so I started watching. He was really good. He's a powerful. I think he's a more powerful runner than Richard, but they are both very, very good pass blockers. And so we actually, as Raider fans, we saw the value in that in Richard. And so Corbin's game is a lot like his in that regard, but he's got a lot more to it. I think he's a lot more power. Florida State went to a gap power scheme this year as well, kind of what we were going to run, and he excelled in it. And so, if we wanted to bring in a change of pace back or a third down back specialist, he's got good hands. They didn't use him a lot in the passing game, but he has that ability as well. I would definitely, as long as the medical checks out, Joshua Corbin should be on our target list for sure for a running back, especially if we're trying to replace Richard, because to me their games are very similar, and that pass blocking, third down pass blocking is really a sort of underrated skill, but Corbin actually is very very good at it. So somebody to really keep an eye on. And another guy that I know a lot of Raider fans too, I've heard on YouTube channels and stuff. Really digging Ty Chandler. He did very well at the Shrine Bowl as well. The Shrine Bowl was really good. If you guys didn't watch, there's a lot of talent in the Shrine Bowl. Just in general, I mean, Pierre Strong came on there too and kind of stole the show. But Joshua Corbin and Ty Chandler also did very very well for the running backs. But he's a 5-year guy, so a little down on that. I think he should have dominated a little bit more than he did. He spent 4 years at Tennessee and didn't do a whole lot. Then came to North Carolina and produced in his career 603 attempts, 3,138 yards, 5.2 average, 26 TDs, 73 receptions, 681 yards, 7.3 average, and 4 TDs. So he's 5'11", 203. Definitely a guy that I would want to do as a third down back, not necessarily a feature back, but maybe get him into the RB2 role eventually. Him and Joshua Corbin, kind of a similar path. I see them in the NFL, sort of that RB3, third down specialist type backs, and then work their way into RB2. Maybe not as much RB1 stuff just because of their size, but still a valuable pieces to any offense for sure. And so either one of these guys I would take. I think Ty Chandler has a chance to jump a little bit higher, just because they use him a lot more in the passing game than Joshua Corbin. So we'll see how it all goes. But I like Corbin better anyways. Um, just my personal preference because of his blocking ability, and he really showed out the Shine game. He showed me a lot. So that's kind of where I see the running backs. Like I said, I really like this running back class just in general. There's a lot of depth in the running back class. There's some guys at the very top that I think could be really good backs, and then some really good depth guys, good receiving, all-purpose type backs as well. So yeah, and we'll see in free agency. I mean, if we do some things in free agency to address a lot of other positions, maybe we could be more aggressive and go up and get a running back a little sooner in the draft. But as it sits right now, I mean, we have so many other holes to fill. Uh, you know that drafting a running back any higher than I think the sixth round wouldn't be that responsible. But if a couple guys fell like Jerome Ford, like I said, Pierce Strong or Tyler Beatty happen to fall a little bit, then great guys to get. David Pierce is another guy I really do like. So, anyways, yeah, there's a good list. I think of running backs to keep an eye on. A few of the guys, yeah, obviously coming off of some injuries and stuff like that. It's kind of why they're down where they're at. But if the medicals come back clean, then by all means, I think the Raiders should take a shot at some of these guys. That's all I got. Please like, share, subscribe to the video. Let me know what you're thinking about the running back position for the Raiders. And until next time, I think I'll do the tight ends next time, and then we'll finish it up with quarterbacks, and we'll go from there. Thanks, Raider Nation. Thanks for tuning in to the Raider Roster Report. This is Raider Sparks. Have a great day.